Hi, it's Mike Bellevue, and I'm over here at the 2019 edition of the Dixons Gunmakers Fair. So, let's see what they have. My first stop this year was to see Jason at the Rice Muzzleloading Rifle Barrel Company. And I was bringing him a barrel that I've had on a gun for quite a few years, and it's just never shot as well as it should for me. And it's by another maker, not by Rice, but Rice is my favorite barrel maker. So I brought it to Jason. It's a swamp barrel. He's going to duplicate the taper and basically replace the breech plug or use this breech plug on the new barrel so that I can drop it right into the stock that I already have for it, and just have to pin it in and put on new sights and brown it, and we'll be good to go, and hopefully that will shoot better for me. So while Jason was taking care of that, I looked at the new Henry Nock Flintlock that they're also making at the Rice Barrel Company, a very high quality lock indeed. It's a later Flintlock. It's got a waterproof pan, and quite good if you're building something from that era. Apparently a lot of you follow me on Facebook because my forays into straight razor shaving were a topic of discussion with a lot of people I've met. And while I was at the Rice booth, a fellow came by who's seen my Facebook posts, and he gifted me with a handmade shaving brush and shaving soap and a soap holder. So his name is Jeff Greer, and I told him that once I really got the hang of this, shaving my face with a cutthroat razor, do a video on it and show his stuff. But it was very nice of him to give me that. Every flintlock rifle needs a good powder horn, and there were plenty of powder horn makers at the Gunmakers Fair. I mean, the two just seem to go together like peanut butter and chocolate. But among the best horners you're going to find is a fellow named John Proud, and his horns are absolutely gorgeous. So if you get a chance, look him up. You won't be sorry when you get a look at his horns. And speaking of horns, this is a beautiful navigation set made by the Honorable Company of Horners, and I think they're going to be auctioning this off at their annual meeting in March. But it's a beautiful set: map, notebook, pen, compass. So this is an organization that's truly worth supporting. They do some great work. And speaking of the Honorable Company of Horners, well, I'm here at Master Horner John DeWalt's table, and as usual, he has some beautiful stuff. See, he's working on a gorget here. Isn't that beautiful? Well, let me take a close look at that. That's the Guildmaster's Gorget, or Gorget. So, tell us about it.
We saw the need to have a badge of office for the Guildmaster of the Honorable Company of Horners, and three of us came up with the idea that we could have a gorget that would pass from Guildmaster to Guildmaster through the years. So the applique of the HCH logo on the front with a gold horn in the center was done by John Kaselica and applied to the horn, and I'm engraving the acanthus leaves and the text that shows the inception of the Guild in 1996, that it's Guildmaster. They're hand-sewn silk cockades with ivory florets and a hand-wrought silver chain.
It's beautiful. Of course, at any 18th century craft show, you're going to see more than just guns and powder horns. You're going to get to see some great crafts like this fantastic pottery. And in some cases, you might be lucky enough to actually see the craftsmen plying their trade. So let's take a look. One of the cool things about Dixons Gunmakers Fair is, besides seeing all the beautiful rifles and the vendors, you have the opportunity to attend a whole series of seminars and classes given by some of the top builders and artisans in the country. And these run throughout the weekend, and they're well worth dropping in on. Well, this is Nicole Wilson, and she's about to enter the rifle that she's holding into the competition for Best Builder. And this is I think her second or third rifle, but she did a fine job on it. There's some more top-notch artisans. This is Chris Polizzi, who makes beautiful straps. And this is Eric Ewing, who is one of the best bag makers in the country, all-around leather workers. And Sarah Miller is another outstanding leather worker. And if you saw my video from a couple of years ago, I bought a bag from her that I've been using with my swivel breech rifle, and it's fantastic. Mitch Yates, who is one of the absolute best rifle makers in the country, has also developed into one of the best makers of engraved trade silver in the country. And he just turns out some phenomenal pieces. Well, no trip to Dixons would be complete if I didn't stop and talk to my buddy Dan the Horn Man and take a gander at some of the great stuff that he puts together. And Jim and Linda Fulmer, who are repping for the National Muzzleloading Rifle Association. Jim is a past president. It's a great organization. If you're a muzzleloader, you really ought to be in it. The gun makers are the main reason this event exists, so let's take a quick look at some of the best gun makers in the country displaying their wares. And if your interest lies more in building your own guns, you can find every part or accoutrement that you need here at Dixons. It's a great place to stock up for whatever you're going to need for the rest of the year. Well, I am going to be picking up one of each of these targets. You can see, for the practice of musketry. So I'm going to pick them up on the way out of here, and you will see them in a future video, I'm sure. I figure using these targets in some videos will really distress the snowflakes out there, and I just can't resist. So, stay tuned, you'll be seeing more of these. Well, that wraps up this year's visit to Dixons Gunmakers Fair. And if I didn't see you at the fair this year, I sure hope I run into you next year. So, until then, have fun.